Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Buzzcut Diaries. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different, I suppose. I'm going to be rebuzzing my 2 weeks of growth and answering some of the questions that you all submitted to me via Instagram. So grab a coffee, get a comfy seat, and settle on in because we're going to be covering everything from what it might be like to be a bald bride to how I deal with all of the judgment that comes through social media. So let's get started. So this is pretty much 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks worth of regrowth. So you can see it's getting pretty long. I can basically grab it. I can put hair clips in it at this point, and it's looking pretty messy. So this is what we're dealing with today, and this is what we're hoping to clean up. So I have my beard club. This is my PT45 precision trimmer. It's lightweight, it's easy to maneuver, and it's adjustable. It has a long battery life, so it's really my go-to when it comes to cleaning up the chia pet. It does come with a little brush, which is starting to look fairly mangled, but we'll use that just to clean up some of the hair that's left over from the last time that I buzzed my head. We want to make sure that the teeth are nice and clean so that they can go over my scalp pretty nicely. So the first question that I'll be answering today is, how does it feel to be bald again? So I think if you follow me anywhere on any of my socials, or you watched my previous video where I buzzed my hair, I think it's pretty obvious that I'm happy to be bald again, or have a buzz cut again. I've talked about this a bunch on social media, or when I get questions or just through DMs, but honestly, of course it's a time saver, just a literal time saver, but it really is a mental and emotional saver. So thinking about my hair, hating my hair, planning my hair, thinking of things to do with my hair consume a lot of my mental energy. And yeah, I don't have that anymore. So that space is freed up in my noggin, and I can think of other things other than just stressing over my hair. So I'm definitely happier, feeling healthier, more confident, and yeah, ready to clean it up again. Okay, so I think for the buzz cut, we're gonna go pretty short today. I think I'm gonna go down to the either the 1.4 or the 0.8. We might start with the 1.4 and then see how that feels. When I did it last time, I was hovering around a 2. I think honestly I did 2 on one side, and then I went down to like a 1.6 on the other side, and then I never evened it out. So it may have gone back in a little inconsistently. All right, so the next question that I have is, how do I deal with the judgment that comes from having a buzz cut? I think that you all probably think that I deal with a lot more negativity or judgment than I actually do. I think on a regular basis, I mean, most of sort of social media is very positive. They're encouraging me to do what feels right for me, to represent sort of females with short hair or no hair. Um, a lot of people are very encouraging. Of course, every so often there are those that are very negative. They call me gross, they call me obscene, they call me stupid, which, I'm none of these things. They question my sanity and they question my motives. And honestly, I don't think it's that hard to deal with. If anything, I have more difficulty dealing with all of the positive comments because I'm a bit shy when it comes to that kind of thing, and people saying all sorts of nice things about me. But yeah, dealing with sort of the judgment, at the end of the day, I kind of don't believe that, simply having short hair can really elicit these extreme negative emotions in people. So when people are being judgmental or hurtful, I have to kind of give the benefit of the doubt. And I believe that there's probably something else going on in that person's life, or they're particularly triggered by short hair for their own personal reasons. Maybe there's some trauma there. I'm not sure, but because logically, this hair, it can't make you feel that disgusted just because it's an inch shorter than someone else's hair. So it's not too bad. Really doesn't bring me down. It's all part of the journey, and I'm more than happy to hear people's opinions and encourage their bravery to express those opinions, as well as my own ability to express my opinions. Okay, so I think maybe we will get a little bit started. I don't have a cape. I'm sorry. It's gonna be itchy. That's just how I roll. I did order one, but it hasn't arrived yet. So we're just gonna deal with little mini hairs everywhere for today. Yeah, so while I just keep getting set up, I will answer another question. So the next question is, what's a challenge of being buzzed that we wouldn't think of? So I would say you've probably thought of most of the challenges. It's cold. I've got no protection on the top of my head. You can get sunburns. People can be judgmental. They can give weird looks or weird comments. So I guess maybe the unexpected thing is the amount of people who want to rub my head or just simply go up and rub my head. I appreciate the enthusiasm, absolutely. Definitely prefer if someone asks first, but it's those who kind of come up and just make an assumption that they can rub my head because it's short. I'm not sure why having a buzz cut turns me into a dog or a cat or some other furry animal. But yeah, it is a bit, out of the ordinary, the amount of people who think that they have sort of physical ownership over my head because I have a buzz cut. So that's probably the one thing that maybe you haven't thought of. Okay, so without further ado, let's click on into the 1.4 millimeter and start giving that a little bit of a go. Okay, so you can kind of get a little bit more of an impression now of how long it had really gotten. I think I need to just wipe a little bit of the extra hair away first. But yeah, you can get a little bit of an idea. I've got like a reverse bridge, a little bit of a gully going on here right now. Yeah, so that's pretty much what the 1.4 millimeter looks like. It's you can still feel the hair, but oh my goodness, it's not like pliable as it was before. It's just a little bit more rough feeling. Okay, so let's do the little strip up the back so we can kind of split things in two, and let's see if I can match it up. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I don't really know what that looks like. Oh, it feels a bit long down there. Let me try that again. All right, so hopefully I split that down the middle pretty good. It feels nice and rough back there now. More like a bit of sandpaper. Oh, probably gonna just take the animal, put that on the ground. But again, like you can get an idea of how long. So yeah, not too bad. All right, so we're all split down the middle now, and I guess we'll start tackling side by side. Okay, so the next question was, why did you disappear for a while? So I'm assuming this is in relation to why I left social media for a while. So you may or may not know that I buzzed my hair back in 2021, and that's when I started on social media. And I did that for about a year, and then I left social media and didn't come back for 2 years until very recently. So, I mean, there's no one sort of singular reason why I left social media back in 2022. I think it was like a culmination of many reasons. I definitely wasn't equipped when I started out in social media. I had no idea, like no idea, that when I buzzed my hair, that it would get sort of the attention that it got. I really just did it as a personal statement for myself. I wanted to break free from many sort of demons inside of me, and wanted to prove to myself that I could leave it all behind, that it really was just hair. And I wanted to take back my power and not let my hair sort of define me anymore. So, yeah, I think being the personality that I am, I'm kind of a people pleaser, a bit of a perfectionist, and I really wanted everyone to be happy with what I was putting out online. And I started to let that define me quite a bit. I didn't want to let anyone down, and I let other people's opinions and comments sort of dictate how I felt about myself. And I think it just kind of got to be too much. Um, so I decided to take a pause and sort of reevaluate the whole social media piece. And in that time, I decided to grow my hair back, actually, almost in an act of rebellion against what everyone online wanted me to do. I didn't even want to go online at all. I pretty much stayed off of social media for a couple of years. I didn't want to come online and see, all the people that were um, missing me or feeling disappointed that I had left. I needed to kind of close off all of those voices and again go back to making decisions for myself. So I am back now, obviously, and I'm hoping that I've put the appropriate structures in place to support me in having more longevity on social media and really not letting the voices of others kind of push me into a negative space. Okay, I think we will clean up our trimmers a little bit and start tackling in on the sides. Alrighty, we're making a little bit of progress here. Again, you can kind of get that idea of, what that 2 weeks of growth actually looks like. You can kind of see a bit of a ridge line there now. All right, so moving on to another question. I got asked a very lovely question, which is, what type of music do you like? So I don't think anyone has ever asked me this question before, and I love it. So I am a child of the 80s, and growing up, my dad listened to a lot of classic rock, 60s and 70s. And of course, being that it came from my father, I highly rebelled and I wanted nothing to do with it. But as I grew older, I started to, I actually worked as a painter. I did sort of exterior and interior painting for several years. And all the guys that I worked with listened to Shea 106. Shout out to Shea 106. That's the classic rock station here in Ottawa. And of course, I fell in love with classic rock. So yeah, I mean, I love everything from Nazareth to the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, CCR, the band. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could go on and on, like Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, so all the sort of 60s and 70s classic rock. And then particularly, I like listening to it on vinyl. I mean, who doesn't like listening to 60s and 70s rock on vinyl? So I do have a turntable in my bedroom, and then I have another one in sort of the family living space. Yeah, so I've been collecting vinyl since I was probably 18, and then really heavily when I was in university. So I have a pretty decent collection now, and I love it. Okay, so let's keep working on this side, and I think we'll take it in the back a little bit. All right, hopefully, oh, hopefully that's looking pretty good. I've got the hairy back syndrome now, um, but only a couple pieces left on this side. So what's the next question? What is your favorite length of buzz? So I would say it might be this one. It might be the 1.4, but it might actually be the 0.8, which maybe we'll do that once I finish up with the 1.4 and just see if I like that a little bit better. But this is looking pretty good so far. But yeah, oh my gosh, having your favorite haircut be, you know, less than a millimeter long can be challenging because it's constantly growing. So I do have to buzz it pretty much every week to kind of keep it at that desirable length. Okay, so let's, I don't know, finish up the side and then we'll do the front. Okay, I think we are doing pretty good. Feels a bit long back here. Okay, I guess we just have this little tuft in the front now. Okay, so you can really get the impression of the difference at this point. All right, so let's move on to another question. So the next question is, has anyone made any sexual comments to you? I had a similar question, which was, do you get weird looks or comments? So in general, I don't know. I think it depends how you define weird or sexual in terms of commentary. I get many comments every day about looking beautiful, hot, sexy. I don't think I'd really classify those as being weird or sexual. I think they're just supportive and kind comments to tell me that I look beautiful. So when it comes to weird ones, the ones that I qualify as being weird are when people ask me to buzz their hair. I'm not going to buzz your hair. I'm not in the market to buzz your hair. I'm not qualified to buzz your hair. So I'm not going to buzz your hair. I'm also not going to buzz my eyebrows. I am so sorry. Really, I am. Like, I feel bad that I can't do this, but I love my eyebrows. I need my eyebrows. They're important to me. I don't hate hair. I just don't like hair on my head, but I like hair on my eyebrows. So I guess those are the sort of most, I don't even like to say they're weird. They're just the comments or questions that don't resonate so much with me. And then in terms of sexual, You know, there's the occasional time where someone will very blatantly proposition me, but I don't think that this is like a higher percentage than any other female in the world. So I don't think it's really any different than what anyone else, is living with on a regular basis. So I'm actually very pleased and happy with people who, I surround myself with. Okay, so let's start on side number two. Let's do this way. Okay, I'm not sure if that worked out in any way, shape, or form, but I only get to do this every once in a while, so I try to have as much fun with it as I can. Okay, so moving on to the next question is about being a bald bride. So, I mean, this is a bit of a complicated one. I definitely originally, and for the past 39 years, wanted to have long hair as a bride. I think I definitely grew up like most females, wanting to look like a Disney princess on their wedding day. I wanted to fit in with societal norms and make everyone else around me happy with my appearance. And I think, I felt that way until very recently. And this time around, buzzing my hair has felt a little bit different. I'm trying to take a little bit more control of, you know, my appearance and my life and making myself happy. So I am definitely considering being a bald bride. My one caveat, and I mentioned this before, is that I want to wear a veil. So I'm looking for solutions in terms of wearing a veil, whether that means that I um, wear a wig on my wedding day so I can clip my veil in, or I have some type of veil alternative or solution where, a flower crown or um, some other way to, affix the veil to my head. I think, we talked about nail glue and double-sided tape. But yeah, in all seriousness, I'm 100% confident enough to be a bald bride. I don't think that's bravery in any sense of the word, particularly since it's something I want to do. So I'm okay with being a bald bride. It's just the veil and quieting the inner voices that says that, my family's not going to be happy or they're going to be disappointed if I don't have hair on my wedding day. Okay, so let's keep going with the buzz and finish up this side. All right, so we're down to our final strip. So again, just a little bit of a appreciation for where we were and what we've gotten to. And I think I will do the last question that we have time for. And that was, what is your family's reaction? So if you watched my last video, I think you probably know that I was a bit concerned with what my mother in particular was going to think about it. Um, this isn't the first time I've buzzed my hair. I have a general idea of how she feels about me being bald, and it's not overtly negative, but it's not overtly positive either. But she was fairly quiet. You know, she knows I'm going to do what I want to do, and she's going to support me regardless. But of course, she was a little bit of a eye roll, like, Lindsay, why are you doing this? I'm getting married. For the rest of my family, my husband has been with me all along. I should say my fiance has been with me all along and has always been highly supportive of me doing whatever I want with my hair, which has been everything from blue, blonde, rainbow, green, short, long, and everything in between. So there was definitely no concerns there. And then when it came to the kids, I think I was expecting them to have like a big reaction, like freaking out. But they kind of walked in and were like, "Oh, you're back to being you again." You know, and I think that was probably the best reaction that I could have had. It was just very much like, "Oh, you're back. Like you were this odd imposter for a couple of years, and you're back to the way you're kind of meant to be." So I think that's really nice. And a lot of my coworkers who worked with me back in 2021 when I first did it had similar reactions. So yeah, it's been pretty nice overall. I'm pretty lucky. Okay, let's finish this up and see what she looks like. I think there's a long piece there. Maybe? I can't tell. Yep, there was a long piece. So this is everything that, well, not this, it's not my hair. Um, this is everything that came off my head. So this is 2 weeks worth of work, and happy to say goodbye to it. So I think I've got most of the little hairs off. There might be still some stuck inside my ears, but those are just gonna come out with a shower and with time. So I did settle on the 1.4 millimeter all over. I didn't go down to the 0.8, but I might do the 0.8 next time I buzz my hair. I'm happy with this for today. It feels pretty velvety and nice, and I'm sure it'll be grown back again within a week. But yeah, that's pretty much a wrap on today's episode. So I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with me while I did my hair and getting some of your questions answered. And don't worry if you didn't get your question answered today, because I'll be sure to tackle it in an upcoming episode of the Buzzcut Diaries. So if you did like today's video, please give it a like and a subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And I hope to see you again soon. And until then, be you, be bold, and stay beautiful.